system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Win.
Let's get out of here. If the Tide wins it.
Or go home.
Left alone, another three. Bottom. To Mark, 2 feet on it. Weave it through traffic. Lob. Oh, the reverse slam.
It's the Elite Eight. Join us Saturday.
Lob to Grant for 2. Mercy.
It's Alabama and Duke.
To Aiden for 3. Bottom.
On your home for Alabama basketball.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Can you get me open? Types.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I agree with you.
The lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car. I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. If you listen to another station I don't understand, nobody does it like Tom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. They go up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Tom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Somebody respond.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Football Friday in the Doghouse, because it's always Football Friday in the Doghouse. Even if the topic is the Sweet 16 or baseball's opening day or whatever, it's Football Friday, and Football Friday means football music, and football music all throughout the show. Great football music. And if Joe forgets, I'm just going to play this again. Every time he forgets, I'm going to play this again. Beautiful piece of sports music. The greatest piece of sports music ever recorded in the history of mankind. I got it. Original Monday Night Football. And we welcome those of you that are watching on X or Facebook or the YouTube channel WZZN TV. Check that out if you haven't yet. Those of you that are listening on the apps as well, your phone lines are open at 256-576-4977 on a highly interactive Friday show. You can text the show at 732-9TA show. That's 732-982-7469. Always a great way to communicate with me. Personal X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. We got that there for you as well. You know, they never bust me on that their Facebook or any of that stuff for using this piece of music. I don't know, it's not copyrighted or whatever. Because they want to hear it too. That's what. Don't forget about your big zone deals as well. You can find that link right now at 977ESPN.com in the upper left-hand corner. You'll get tremendous half-price deals there on food and golf and other great deals. Lawler's Hickory Store Barbecue, they're up right now. And we have a one-day sale going on right now on Carrabba. Let's bring it home with class. Boom, there you go. Just like that. Just like that. I know. I'll send it to you, Joe. Don't I'll get it to you. I know you want it. I know you want it to your entry music when you get home, you know, at night, and the kids are, and you would come bebopping in. Okay, yes. We do have for you today one of those special trifectas. We told you that, you know, the Friday trifecta is a staple of the football season. I mean, it's a given in the football season that we're going to have the Friday trifecta for you each and every Friday. But we do special ones throughout the year, and this is a special time of year right now with the Sweet 16. And you know, this is just like the one we did a couple of weeks ago for the SEC tournament. And by the way, speaking of the SEC tournament, I know that most of you have responded, those of you that went, there was about 6 people that hit that deal, that trifecta, that little mini fecta that we did. It was a little daily double type of one. There were 2 of you that hit over the air that we need you to call in today. And before you make your picks, if you're going to get in this trifecta, you need your information, your address. My cousin Vinny and Neil Duncan. All right. My cousin Vinny and Neil Duncan, or Duncan Neil. I don't know which it is, but it's Neil. I think it's Neil Duncan. You guys need to call in and give Joe your information so that we can mail you your certificate. Some of you like to send me like an email address. No, this is an actual address. When I say I need your address, several of you will give me your email address. No, you need an actual address. We're going to put a stamp on an envelope and we're going to send you something. Okay. So, you need to do that. Can you make a request? Sure. I know one guy requests, he's like, can you send me Lawlers? I don't know if we have any Lawlers in the prize bin. Joe's in charge of the prize cabinet. That's all I know. I try to print them out for him and give them to him when he gets low on inventory, but he's basically in charge of the prize cabinet. So whatever he's got is what you get. All right. That's the deal. All right. That's how it works. But so we need you 2 guys to get in and get us your addresses on that. So we've gone now from the Sweet 16 to the temporary 12. We'll call them the temporary 12 because we're headed for the Elite 8. What I need for you today is quite simple. I just need your Final 4. I don't need who's going to win. I don't need your Final 2 and who's going to win. We'll do that next weekend. Right now, we got 12 teams left. I need your Final 4. That's it. It's that simple. Just give me your Final 4. 256-576-4977. Give me your Final 4. You hit the Final 4, I feed you. Boom. That's it. It couldn't be any easier. The last one we did had 2 things. That we never had 3 things in the trifecta. We always have like 2 or 5 or 4. There's never 3, but it's still the Friday trifecta. It's been the Friday trifecta for the better part of 20 years. All right. So today it's a quadfecta. Just need your Final 4. Just need your Final 4. Just like that. All right. That doesn't include, by the way, don't put BYU or Arizona or Maryland or John Calipari, who added to his March legacy by choking away a late 16-point lead. Come on, Arkansas. I mean, Cal, I know he's a Hall of Famer. I know he's got a national championship, man, but he has got some stuff that has happened to him in March that is absolutely off the rails. I mean, he has got some epic flameouts. Now, they were a 5-point dog last night against Texas Tech, but they looked like they were going to blow Texas Tech out. I mean, this was glorious. All 3 SEC teams were advancing to the Elite 8 last night. It was like, look, this is unreal. I mean, this is fantastic. What if there's an SEC team's going to lose tonight. An SEC team will lose tonight because Kentucky and Tennessee are playing. So an SEC team will lose tonight. But goodness gracious, you had that one in the bag, Arkansas. You had it in the bag. All right, so all you got to do is call and give us your Final 4. Now, coming up on a show today, and we will take calls in the first segment of the show. It's coming up near the bottom of the hour. We meet the new head football coach at Buckhorn, David Green, who comes over from Bob Jones, where he was the defensive coordinator for the past few years there. Now, this is his first head coaching job. So this is his first radio interview because we don't interview coordinators very often on the Tom Abraham show, but we do talk to head coaches. All of this will be a first for him, as it was for Matt Patterson a few years ago when he came over from Bob Jones. He was the offensive coordinator. These guys didn't work together, but apparently that's what you do. You're a coordinator at Bob Jones, and that preps you for being a head football coach at Buckhorn, I guess. I don't know. But David Green, defensive-minded guy. It's going to be interesting to see because Matt Patterson was an offensive-minded guy. So they go from an offensive head coach to a defensive head coach. How will that change things there? And then coming up in hour number 2 of the show, the voice of the Vols for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 more games, Bob Kessling. He will join us as Tennessee and Kentucky tangle tonight for the 3rd time this season. They're like, wait a minute, Auburn's playing. Well, we did. We talked to Justin Ferguson. We talked to Kennington Lloyd-Smith about Alabama earlier in the week. We talked to Justin Ferguson about Auburn and Michigan. And now we're going to talk to Bob Kessling about Tennessee and Kentucky. This is the game of the night. I mean, you might say, well, Auburn, Michigan, if you're an Auburn fan, you're a Michigan fan. I get there's high interest. Auburn, Michigan is a very interesting game. But if you watch 2 tonight, you watch Tennessee, Kentucky, and then you watch, Auburn, Michigan. Now, I say you watch Tennessee, Kentucky. It's on TBS, and it is. I'll be totally honest with you. Playing cards at my pastor's house tonight. I'm just saying. Got a little euchre tournament tonight at my pastor's house. Tonight. The thing is, my pastor's a huge Tennessee fan. And I know one of the other dudes that will be there, my boy Billy, he is a big Tennessee fan as well. So we'll have this euchre tournament going on. And I know there's going to be some grilling going on. And the ladies are all going to be there. The wives are going to be there as we team up and we play, euchre. It's like 4 couples. They're going to be there playing euchre tonight. Tennessee, Kentucky is at 6:39 tonight. I texted my pastor and I just said to him, I'm getting. Oh, he did respond. I texted him. I said, Tennessee, Kentucky tonight at 6:30. Just saying, TBS. He responded, don't worry, we'll have TV. That's good. That's good. There's a lot going on. And before I get there, my son, Joe, who's the morning show guy at ESPN Winchester, where we're on today as well, they have a remote today from 4 to 6. They got a remote today at Jefferson's on the Square, which I go to Jefferson's once a week with my wife, maybe twice, but at least once a week with my wife, just to get the pretzel bites, if nothing else. And so we're there all the time. We're walking distance from Jefferson's on the Square in Winchester. So he has a remote there tonight from 4 to 6 because they're a Tennessee affiliate. And so before the game, and all the folks that'll be in there watching the game, they're having this remote 4 to 6. And he asked me to swing by, and I'm going to go by there. And he's going to harass me about the fact that in his bracket contest, he's like 11th or something. I don't know what he is. He's ahead of me, but I'm creeping up. I'm coming. I got to check his. Now, the problem is that he probably ripped off my bracket. I mean, that's probably what happened. He ripped off my bracket. So I'm going to have to check and see where the differences are so I know who to pull for in what particular games and so on. That's what he did. He ripped off my bracket. So it's hard to catch up to somebody who ripped off your bracket. In any event, let's get to Alabama. Look, let me just say this. If Alabama's going to shoot the ball like that, and when Mark Sears is smoking hot, there is nobody, including Duke or Auburn, that are going to stop them from winning a national championship. I mean, nobody. If they shoot the ball like that. Of course, the ability to shoot the ball like that night after night is pretty difficult. I remember the last time they had a game like this. Remember that? And what I said about it, they had a game like this at Texas, and they shot 62% from the field. They shot 59% on the threes. The very next game was the home game against Auburn, and they couldn't throw it in the ocean. They shot like 38% from the field and 19% from downtown. There were 5 of 26 from downtown. Last night, they were like 25 of 51. They took 51 Boston Celtics. In 40 minutes, they took 51 threes. They shot a 3-point shot every 50 seconds of the game. 45 seconds. I don't know. Do the math. They shot 51 threes in 40 minutes. They shot a three every 45 seconds. And that includes the time that the other team has the ball. Or just, it's mind-boggling. And every time they got an offensive rebound, they would kick it out. Boom. And Sears, man, once he made that first one, it was like, oh, God, watch out. I think he made his first, 6. Sears made 10. He made 10 threes. At 34 points in that game. Yeah, he did nothing but threes. So now, once again, they go from playing a decent Big 12 team and shooting lights out to playing a great team, this time Duke. Last time it was Auburn. Now they got to play Duke. And they're going to have to do it again. Because you're not going to stop Duke from scoring. Duke had 100 points in their game against Arizona. Duke is a 7-point favorite, by the way, in the game if you need it. The total is 173.5 for two teams that combined last night for 213 points. And the total, I think, is 173.5. Might be 176.5. I think it's 173.5. I mean, this is going to be a great, great game. And the Grant Nelson Cooper Flag thing will be fascinating. Fascinating to watch these two guys, assuming that they match up against each other, which they should. Grant Nelson is 23 years old. He's like one of the whitest dudes you ever did want to see. He's from North Dakota or South Dakota or someplace like that. I mean, dude's almost translucent. I mean, let's be honest. He's a marginal NBA prospect at best, but he has had an ability to step it up and play big. He's been outstanding to this team. But he's 23 years old, marginal NBA prospect, might be a second-round draft pick. Maybe. Remember, in the NBA, they only have 2 rounds. More likely the kid's going to end up playing in Europe or something. I don't know. Cooper Flag is 18 years old. He's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. When they get around to drafting in June or whatever, he's going to be the first overall pick in the draft. Grant's going to have to be up to the challenge. He's just going to have to be up to the challenge. But in the end, it's all about the guards. For Alabama, it's about those guards, and specifically Mark Sears. That was March Mark at his best last night. He had scored 17 points in the first 2 games. He had 17 points in the first 10 minutes of the game last night. He was just feeling it. Once he made that first 3, he was feeling it. And he was just jacking them up from all over the place. Way downtown. NBA downtown. And then there was Aiden Holloway, who came off the bench and knocked down a half dozen threes of his own on the way to 23 points. In the meantime, BYU couldn't buy a 3. That's their game. They were 1 of 15 in the first half, and at halftime, Charles Barkley was like, you know what you got to tell them if you're coaching me. He said, look, we'll never shoot 1 of 15 again. Ever from threes. We're a good 3-point shooting team. They come out in the second half, couldn't make a bucket either. So now the Dukies, they were out of their mind. Well, they were absolutely out of their minds as well. 60% from the field, 11 of 19 from 3. Yet they had to withstand a late run from Arizona. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be an absolutely great game tomorrow night. And to be totally honest with you, I have no idea. What does Drew Darman do? I mean, is his head going to just explode? What does he do? I mean, he drives a crimson car that's been hit basically on 3 of the 4 sides of the car. I mean, if you saw his car, you'd think he was in the demolition derby. But Drew's car, it's crimson red. It's got Alabama stickers all over it, and then it's got Duke basketball stickers on it. His email address has both, it's like Mr. UA Duke or something like that. Where is he on that? I don't even know. Maybe that guy across the way in the massive control room knows.
Do you know who I am?
No, who is this?
Who is this guy?
Who in the blue hell are you? I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together on a spit and polish.
I'm very important.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I don't like violence, Thom. I'm a businessman.
You want to boo me? Fine.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
You come at the Kings, you better not miss.
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
Let me show for y'all. Got a damn good show.
I will not wear that naughty one.
Hey, Thom.
I don't know. Joe, do you have any idea? I mean, is Drew Darmer just like mumbling to himself, like walking back and forth across the hallway in the back and just mumbling, go Duke, go Duke, go Duke, roll tide, go Duke, roll tide, Dookie, roll tide. I mean, where is he on this?
He was in all Alabama head to toe today.
Really?
He was in all Alabama head to toe.
So was that the signal?
Yeah, I think it's kind of
signal?
it's kind of like one. It's a look. I love Duke. I'm going to be cheering for Duke until they play my team, and then if it's Duke and Alabama, I'm always going to go Alabama, no matter what the sport. That's my assumption.
Yeah. So he doesn't have one of them jerseys that's like split in half, and it's like half Duke, and
like he's a proud mom with twins.
Yeah. He doesn't have like the Connor flag on one side and the Grant Nelson on the other side jersey. He doesn't have like who is that chick that had the boyfriend that was Brady Quinn and her brother played for Ohio State or something.
It was AJ Hawk's sister.
AJ Hawk's sister, who wasn't she going out with Brady Quinn or something like that?
I think they're married now, as a matter of fact.
Are they married now?
I believe so, yeah.
So she had like the double jersey on, and Brent Musburger was losing his mind over that. Yeah. So he's not doing any of that. He's just going all Tide all the way.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. He is all Alabama today.
Well, that's a good job by him. As expected, Joe, every site I use for show prep, both public sites and industry sites, led with the Sweet 16. And then after you scroll down a little bit, you'd have to scroll down halfway down the page. Then you would get to the opening day of baseball. And before I could get to the story of Tyler O'Neill hitting an opening day home run for the 6th straight year for 3 different teams, or Austin Wells becoming the first catcher in Major League Baseball history to hit opening day leadoff home run, or Wilbur Abreu hitting 2 home runs for the Red Sox to win that game, the first thing I had to read about was how the MLB.TV app went down, causing people all over the country to miss their games. It's somehow tragic and comical at the same time, Joe. I mean, they're killing.
I was actually just impressed that the MLB.TV app had enough people on it that would cause it to go down.
Got a lot of people on it. I mean, they got a lot of people.
It's the only way you can really watch any team play, because you can't really watch them on terrestrial radio or terrestrial television.
Well, you got unless it's a national game. Like Sunday night, we'll be able to watch the Braves and Padres on Sunday night because it's the ESPN game of the week.
Oh, so look at that.
They don't black that. Yeah.
Look, who wants, I mean, who needs all 162 when you can watch one every 4 months? Come on. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you get to see them once a month there about, they're featured over there. But, there was 2 national games yesterday. And today, in the second day, it used to be like opening weekend, and it would be multiple days in a row where it'd be day games and things like that. Here it is today, the second day. And there are no day games. 0 day. There's no day games. All the games today start tonight. They all start tonight because there's nothing else on tonight except for Michigan and Auburn and Tennessee and Kentucky. So, you know what I mean? I mean, let's not play any baseball games in the afternoon, so you can watch a little bit of baseball in the afternoon and then watch the basketball at night. No.
Honestly, I believe if Major League Baseball went to playing more day games during the week, they may actually grow an audience.
I think they would.
Because, I mean, didn't matter what I was doing last night. My wife was at the doctor, and we were doing an appointment to check on the one in the tummy. And I'm sitting there with the television and on my phone watching the Braves game because I'm like, hey, it's opening day. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's opening day. I mean, I'm listening, but it's opening day. I would pay attention probably even more if it was being played during the day than if it's being played at night. I think they're missing a massive thing. It's kind of like the MAC playing on Tuesdays.
Maybe, too, for the sake of the kids, not 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock games, but, why not 2 or 3 o'clock starts, something like that, 3 o'clock start, so that, a kid comes home from school and it's still much of the country's got kind of sketch weather and stuff. Come home from school, watch the baseball game. And the game's over before dinner. You know what I mean? I mean, why not? Why not leave work early? You got a job and you got it where you can kind of sneak out early, or maybe you leave work early and you go home and you get to watch a half a baseball game before dinner. What's wrong with that? You're right. I think a daytime baseball would be good.
I mean, look, the Braves game yesterday started at 3 o'clock. We were able to watch it. And then right when Alabama tipped off, we were able to turn right over to Alabama and have that before starting the Havoc game last night. Like, it was fantastic, even with it being on the West Coast. Now what you're going to do is you're going to have that one game. It's going to have like a first pitch at like 9:30 p.m. And then you're going to have the Sunday night baseball game. And then after that, they're in LA playing the Dodgers, which is going to be 3 more late starts. And so you're going to miss that entire series unless you're focused on staying up late with that way. Oh no, have those games start at 3 o'clock. It'll be like a noon or 1 o'clock first pitch in LA. That'd be great.
I think one of those games is going to be on national too. I think one of those games is like the Wednesday night game or something like that. One of those games is a national game as well, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, David Green joins us next, new head football coach at Buckhorn. He's coming up right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Say so, I'm a rebel and rogue, and I'm always on the run. With a fire inside, I ain't ever gonna die. I'm a locked and loaded gun.
So when the Thom Abraham Show is Brought to you by our good friends at Woody Anderson Ford, specifically the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. Even more specifically, the award-winning service department at Woody Anderson Ford. Not only doing your routine checkups, but also taking care of bigger problems because they got these expert service technicians that quickly diagnose the problem, whatever it is that's going on. They use state-of-the-art tools to resolve them, and they can do it all down there. Air conditioner work, brake work, transmission work. They got a great body shop. And, of course, they belts, hoses, fluids, all of that, oil changes and stuff. They got a wonderful mobile service as well. They'll come out to where you are at, and they can do things like change your oil, rotate the tires, parts replacements, all kinds of stuff, windshield wipers and lights and things like that. And if you can't get in there until at night or on a Saturday, it's Quick Lane Service Department. There's your one-stop shop for all of that stuff. No matter what the service your Ford needs, it's Woody Anderson, ensuring quick, professional, and exceptional service. All right, the new head football coach at Buckhorn is David Green. He comes from Bob Jones, where he's been the defensive coordinator for the past couple of years, and he joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
This, as I said in the open, this is probably a new experience for you, because I know at least on my show we don't have a lot of coordinators on the show. You know what I mean? We'll talk to head coaches, but we generally don't have a lot of coordinators on the show. So I don't imagine you've done too many radio interviews. Is that right?
No, this would be my first. Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit more about your background. We know you've been at Bob Jones as the defensive coordinator there, but go back to where you played and your coaching experience and so on.
Oh yeah, well, I'm originally from Homewood. I was born and raised there. Played football there. I was fortunate enough to after that to play in college at Mount Ida College in Boston, Massachusetts, and then shortly after that, I got my master's and started working at Helena, and then worked there for 4 years. Worked at Dothan for a year, and then prior to Bob Jones, I was at Jemison and Huntsville.
So you're working your way north, basically. Your next gig will be in Tennessee. I mean, there's not much room left from Newmarket. I mean, at this point in time, you just keep going north. This is your first head coaching gig, right? So
yes,
this is the first time that you're at the top of the heap. Let's talk about that a little bit, and the mentors that you have worked with, and obviously you learn stuff from the guys the staffs that you were on, but now the buck stops with you. Talk about that a little.
Yes, sir. Well, my former head coach, Kelvis White, he's been a huge mentor to me. He coached me at Homewood, and I was a teacher aide for him when I was in high school, and we had a bond there. And when he had an opportunity in Dothan, he opened it up for me to come down there, and he's been very instrumental in kind of teaching me and mentoring me in this whole development of football. So he's been a big part of it.
Have you always been on the defensive side of the ball? We know you've been a DC at Bob Jones, but have you always been on the defensive side of the ball, or have you gone back and forth?
No, sir. I've always been on the defensive side of the ball. So
talk a little bit about Talk a little bit then about your style of play. What it is that you like to implement. You run an even defense, an odd defense, a blended defense. What are we going to see
in today's world? Offenses, man, they are creating all kinds of stuff. To try to score points. So defensively, we'll be multiple. We'll try to do. I think we've got some great players at Buckhorn that we can do that. So kind of basing out of things that allow us to fit our kids. And allow our kids to play fast and have fun. That's one of the big things I want to be able to do.
There were some real good parts there at Buckhorn last year. We've done Buckhorn games here on the Zone for the last 3 years. I've done the play-by-play for them, and there's some nice parts that you'll have to play with, especially up front. It seems like those guys could get a little excited about what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, there's some great talent. There's some great leadership there. I met the kids on Wednesday, and it's a great opportunity. I'm really looking forward to working with those guys. I think it's going to be a great thing.
Now, how does it work now? Because you're still teaching at Bob Jones. You're running back and forth quite a bit, basically, and so you get an opportunity to be with the boys a little bit in the afternoon, or how does it work out?
Yeah, we're doing that right now. We're still finalizing everything, but I'm hopeful to be over there as soon as I can. I'm really looking forward to it. Ready to hit the ground running. So I know they're excited over there, and as soon as I can get there, I want to be there.
David Green is the new head coach at Buckhorn. So what do you do offensively? I mean, you're fine. You're right now looking for an offensive coordinator, or you're going to try and do that from within? And what's your thought process about, when you come from a defensive mindset? A lot of times, I remember, I always coached on the defensive side of the ball, and there was one year where we had an offense that was just, they're just a disaster. And we would come off the field and we would just tell them, just hold them. That's what we tell the offense: just hold them. We'll take care of winning the game. You guys just hold them. It isn't that way at Buckhorn. The Buckhorns had some success offensively. Got some young parts coming up that have done real good. Some JV kids that they've had great success, at that level. So. But what do you do as far as the offense and finding somebody to run that for you?
And we're currently looking for an offensive coordinator. One of the things that I would like to do is I want to be physical and I want to be balanced. I think that's important in today's world, in the football world, to be able to do those things. And I know there's a lot of things you can add on with tagging RPOs and things along those lines. So we want to make sure that we are effective, that we are physical, and that we are having fun on the offensive side too.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Will you be doing a spring ball? It'd be kind of awkward right now this year, or are you going to take the extra week and come early in the summer?
We are not going to take. We are going to take the extra week. The state allows us some time to go with the kids after school, so we're going to do that. Work on development, work on installs as we can, and take advantage of the extra week in June. That first week of June, or last week of June.
Last week of June.
Sorry.
In July, yeah, last week of July. Now, is that because of the fact that you're coming in late right now, or is that something that you would do either way, even if you were, if you had been there,
I've done it both ways. I've done it both ways with starting early and doing the spring. Doing the spring, I think, is always great because you get 10 days to evaluate your guys in the spring, whereas you only get the week, you only get the 5 days in the fall. So. But just with everything that's kind of going on, how late it is, that's one of the things that we're going to try to do, because I don't want to. I want to be able to make sure that we're efficient in everything that we're doing. And I think the best way for us to do that right now is just to focus on starting a week early, and hitting our feet running there.
Yeah, David Green, new head coach at Buckhorn. With us as we're kind of getting to know him a little bit and what kind of football we expect to see out of that program there. And it is a great community, right? I mean, I know that they interview you interview them. It is a great community up there in Newmarket. It's a great place, and you get some good athletes up there as well. Going to be it's a nice place to coach. I mean, I from what I've seen, it seems to be a great community.
Oh, it does. It is. It's a great community. It's one of the things that drew me and my wife to it. Being at Jemison, we've coached against, played against Buckhorn for several years, and it was a place that we always, if an opportunity ever presented itself, we always wanted to pursue that, to pursue that opportunity because of the community and the environment and just everything that there is out there in Newmarket.
6A football is no joke either. I mean, you look at that schedule; it's a pretty stout little schedule. I know that Matt got appointed in the right direction, and they've been a playoff team for the last few years. And it looks like, there's something there to build on. At least it seems like he got that program going in a position where you got a group of kids now that are used to being a playoff team, winning more games than they lose, that kind of stuff. I think all of that helps you out.
Oh, 100%. Coach Patterson did a great job there. I think he's a great coach, and he had it. He did. He has that thing as a well-oiled machine, and I'm excited to come in and build off of it and take things that have been done in the past and continue this playoff mentality and hopefully be able to continue that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you know what we say, Coach? We love you, win or tie. So, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be 100% behind you, winter tide. That's always good stuff. David Green has been our guest. Coach, good luck with the gig. Look forward to following you and talking to you and certainly showcasing Buckhorn Bucks football again this fall on the Zone.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
All right, man. Thank you. David Green, new head football coach over there. First interview. First time he's done. You tell the guy's a little bit nervous. It's the first time that he's had that opportunity. And I know he's excited about having his games be on the Zone as well. And so that'll be good stuff. All right, we're going to get a break in here. When we come back, phone lines are open. All right, we have yourself a Friday trifecta. All I'm looking for is the final four. So go ahead and start using them. 256-576-4977 will get you in. You can text it in as well. 732-982-7469. It's the Thom Abraham Show. Back with more right after this.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
Auburn Tigers playing today in the Sweet 16 at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey against BYU. The Crimson Tide laying 5.5 points, a total 175.5. The winner will get either Duke or Arizona in the East Region final. Duke, the 9.5-point favorite over the Wildcats. Auburn Tigers meet the Michigan Wolverines at State Farm Arena in Atlanta in the South Region semifinal tomorrow. The Tigers 9.5-point favorites, 153.5 the total. Michigan State a 3.5-point favorite over Ole Miss in the other regional semifinal. Braves at Chris Sale on the mound, $1.30 favorite today at San Diego. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
97.7 The Zone.
Now, on Saturday, you are willing to give a little extra. then you, because of your preparation, things I'm trying to get across to you. And if we do that as a team, 11 at the time, 4 years from now, we'll be walking out of here national champion. And I'll tell you this, I expect nothing less.
97.7 The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy sky this afternoon, but we are going to be quite warm across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s, only dropping into the mid and upper 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning, maintaining that cloudy sky through Saturday afternoon. Temperatures are going to be a little bit lower across the area. Highs going to climb into the low and mid 70s, which is still above where we should be this time of year. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible Saturday afternoon, but there are going to be significant periods of dry time, and not everybody's going to get wet. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo. I want that money! You know, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Be sure and join us today from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Well, now is the time to get signed up for the Eagle Insulation WZZN Charity Golf Tournament, which benefits the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This year's golf tournament is the morning of April 21st at Cherokee Ridge. Each member of the winning team not only gets the championship belts, but a full year membership to Cherokee Ridge. Breakfast and lunch are provided, plus tremendous prizes and a chance to win $100,000. The cost is $800 for a team or $200 per individual. There are corporate sponsorships available as well. Just send an email to 977 WZZN events at gmail.com. That's 977 WZZN events at gmail.com. Or text me if you'd like in the text window, and we can reserve your spot today. And Joe, do you have any championship belts? I know you're into the wrestling and everything else. I have one of these mini championship belts, which is really cool. But do you have anything like that?
I'm trying to think about how many I actually do have, because I want to say it's 5 or 6 actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got the what's called the Big Gold Belt, which was the WCW NWA Championship. I have the WWF Tag Team Championships. I have the WCW Intercontinental Championship.
You mean the actual belt?
Yeah.
How did you acquire those?
I got skills. I got special people.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got it's probably the championship belt from the 2013, 2014, whenever they kind of remodeled it just because of a tournament we were doing that we needed a belt. So yeah, at one point in time I collect them, but again, it's very expensive hobby, and there's only 3 or 4 designs that I really, really like.
Yeah, well, ours will be small ones, you know what I mean, that you can display on the shelf. But they're really cool. It's a black strap, all right, and the first place team, the belt itself is gold. You know, the buckle of the belt, if you will, is gold, where the first place champion has the logo on it, all that kind of stuff. And then the second place one is silver, you know, which makes sense, you know, gold and silver. So they're really cool. But beyond all of that, you get a 1-year membership. Each person on the team get a 1-year membership to Cherokee Ridge, which is, you know, that doesn't suck. That doesn't suck at all. You talk about a $4,000 value right there, a family membership, you know what I mean? Where you go down there, you play golf, do all that kind of good stuff. You know what else doesn't suck? The Trash Pandas are going to have a meet and greet coming up on Saturday at over at Toyota Field, and they'll be coming in. I guess they get in around 3:00 or so, and they'll have a meet and greet right there at the VIP entrance of the stadium. And as they get in from Arizona from spring training, and according to the press release, Trash Panda supporters are invited to greet the team and show the players and coaches why we have the best fan support in all of minor league baseball. Fans are welcome to gather near the Trustmark VIP entrance. The Trash Pandas will also post an update via social media on Saturday to confirm the arrival time, just in case there's any delays or schedule changes. There is some weather going on around the country. My weather alert thing has been going off on my phone, and there is some potential weather around the country. So in any event, the official roster is going to be released by the Angels coming up here in the next couple of days. And they open up next Friday night against the Chattanooga Lookouts. The games, of course, are heard at Talk Radio WZZN as well. You can get single game tickets for the 2025 season as well. And then sometime, I think it's next week, or is it the following week? When is April? Joe, when is April 9th? So it's not next week, the following week, right? April 9th?
It's 2 Wednesdays from now.
So 2 Wednesdays from now against the Knoxville Smokies. It'll be the first education day of the year. The game is at 11:05, and we'll be doing the Thom Abraham Show live from right field. Now, Joe, the typical deal there is, I mean, you come out with me, you know what I mean? And we hang out in right field, where that right field rock porch hangs over the right field, and we can kind of heckle a little bit. You know, we can kind of get after the Smokies right fielder if we want. And we're in bombing range. I don't know, you weren't here at the time, but you know, the famous story when we were there, and it was me, and we had my producer was next, Steve Muletan was, and he was like just over to the right and just kind of hanging out. He brought the gear out, set up, and everything else. And we're like calling for a home run. We just want a home run, man. We just want on air. We want to catch a home run. And sure enough, a guy rakes and hits a home run, and it is coming right at us. Now I'm sitting over here. Producer guy is sitting to my right, and to the right of him is Muletan. So we're talking about he's maybe 5 feet away from me. The ball is coming right at Steve, right at him. And Steve jumps out of the way like it's a hand grenade. He just jumps out of the way, and the ball hits the porch and rolls all the way to the back of the. I know.
Just catch it.
I know. And they. Here's the thing. You know how the games are also on Way TV there, or they're in the like the alternate channel or something like that.
Yeah, MILB TV.
So somebody sent it. Yeah, they're on. You know, they got some sort of video streaming for it. So anyway, the team, they cut it up and they found it and they got it and they sent it to us. And you could see, I mean, it's kind of the shots from behind home plate, so it's a little bit far away. But you see the ball coming. It's coming right at Steve. I mean, it's going right at Steve. And Steve jumps out of the way as if it was like an incoming mortar shell. Something like that. It was absolutely crazy. But yeah, there you go. All right, let me get to the lines. Wolverine is up. Wolverine, welcome to the show. How are you?
What's up, Tom? Yo, listen, man. I got the belt. Yeah, a lot of belts when I was younger. My dad gave me.
Yeah, I got that too.
Well, listen. Hey, Lee, you got a trifecta, bro?
We do. Give me your Final Four. All you need to do is tell me who the Final Four teams are.
Florida, Michigan, Houston, and I don't know. I'm lacking the fourth one. Throw me a ball.
It's Duke or Alabama.
Yeah, no. That's easy.
Which one?
Yeah, Duke all day long. Hey, listen, bro. Remember I always tell you I got a lot to do?
Yeah.
At 66 years old, my friend, I get up in the morning, do a core workout, get wife out the door. Then after that, I plant over 100 flowers. And then after that, I go ahead and I do a 5-mile bike ride. Then I do a bunch of laps in the water I just got done doing. And then I also went by the CPA and got her taxes and picked up her taxes and dropped them off. Signed, signature, and delivered.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, Tom, when I'm busy, bro, I'm busy. At my age, ain't nobody doing the stuff I do. You know that.
He's retired. It's good to be retired. What can I tell you?
Does that. They don't, I am a freak in nature when it comes to the bod, man. I push myself. This bod is strong.
I will agree with that. You are a freak of nature. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, well, there you go. Okay. All right. And a freak in a
There you
good
go.
way. Okay.
All right.
All right. Peace out.
All right. Appreciate you. Oh, I can't wait to hear what Grumpy has to say about that call. Oh, Grumpy's on deck, and I cannot wait. We're going to him straight off the top of the hour. I cannot wait to hear what Grumpy has to say about that call. I wonder how many flowers Grumpy has planted today. All right, hour number 2 is coming up. Bob Kessling will be in hour number 2. Set us up for Tennessee, Kentucky as well. We do have this trifecta for you. All I need is your final 4. There you go. Phone lines will be open right off the top of the hour. We're 256-576-4977. It's the Thom Abraham Show. Back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a 5th-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
You guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10+ years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I'm here to tell you it's truck month. No payments for 90 days on 24 and 25 models of F-150, Ranger, Maverick, Super Duty, and Lightning. We've got over 220 F-150s for you to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Great deals on Bronco, Bronco Sport, Expedition, and Explorer 2. Come check those out. But right now at Woody Anderson Ford, you can drive a 2024 F-150 XLT Hybrid for as little as $339 a month. $339 for an F-150. That's a 36-month lease with $64.48 due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. This offer ends $331.25. Call us at 539-9441 for complete details. Over 220 F-150s and nearly 50 Rangers and Maverick pickups to choose from, all with great sales incentives and 0 payments for 90 days. Woody Anderson Ford, we hope to see you soon.
Atlanta Braves spring training is on from Florida, and this 2025 Brave squad is ready to get after it in North Fort.
And he waylays this thing way downtown. Swung on a fly ball, deep left center field, heading towards the gap, and it's down for a base hit. Acuna hits the bag at third. Here he comes, Michael Harris, taking no prisoners. It's a sweep.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Former Tennessee football coach Jeremy Pruitt's filed a lawsuit against the NCAA seeking $100 million. He claims it conspired with the university to make him a sacrificial lamb. He was fired for cause, didn't receive any of his $12.6 million buyout after an internal investigation revealed what Tennessee's chancellor said were serious NCAA rules violations. Pruitt has not coached in college football since.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
You need to be more like a dog. Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about. Be a dog. God bless the show. You are the Messiah. We need more dogs. This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
So settle in and get your bark on. Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 Look, I don't speak Spanish. I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho. Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Hale McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here. It's Football Friday. A lot of basketball in the show today and a little bit of baseball, but it is Football Friday. That means I told Joe if he forgot I was going to play this at like every break, but I really don't want to play it every break. Welcome in, Thom Abraham Show. Welcome those of you that are watching on X and Facebook and YouTube, and you can check out the YouTube channel at WZZN TV. If you haven't checked that out yet, those of you listening on the apps, your phone lines are open at 256-5764-977. You can also text the show, 7329-TA show, 732-982-7469. That is a great way to get into the show. My personal X feed is at Thom Abraham Show as well. We do have a special Friday trifecta for you today, just like the one we did a couple of weeks ago for the SEC tournament. And we've gone now from the Sweet 16 to the temporary 12 as we head for the Elite 8. And all I need for you to give me is a Final Four. That's it. Just give me your Final Four. And just make sure you don't put BYU, Arizona, Maryland, or John Calipari in there. And Calipari, again, getting stomped in, it just not stomped. They were a 5-point dog, but things have he blew a 16-point lead. I think it's like I heard the biggest or second biggest lead ever blown at the Sweet 16 level. He's got this not very good March record, just not a very good March record. Coming up a little bit in the next segment of the show, the voice of the Vols for 1, 2, 3, or 4 more games. Bob Kessling will join us as Tennessee and Kentucky are tingling tonight for the third time this season, and it'll be the second game tonight as things get started. It's the 6:39 tip on TBS, but it'll work out nicely to watch the Auburn-Michigan game afterwards from Atlanta, which is on like in the middle of the night. No, it's not that late. It's, for those people over there, it's like 9:39 tip in Atlanta. Does that make any sense? Doesn't seem to make any sense. Alabama last night, an absolute machine, more three-pointers than ever have been made in the history of the NCAA tournament. Unreal that the record had stood since 1990. The record they broke was Loyola Marymount going all the way back to 1990. Mark Sears had 10 by himself, was smoking hot in that game last night. And if they shoot like that, nobody's going to beat them. They win a national championship. They shoot like that. Of course, the ability to do that night in and night out is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. But it's going to be great to see them go up against Duke and what can happen there. Grant Nelson, Cooper Flagg. Nelson, 23 years old. Flagg is 18. Nelson, maybe a marginal NBA player. Cooper Flagg is going to be the number 1 pick in the NBA. Incredible. But the guard play is key for Alabama. Mark Sears with 34. He made 10 threes. Aiden Holloway came off the bench, knocked down a half dozen threes himself, and had 23 points. And BYU couldn't make a shot to save their life. The Dukies were also very, very good. They were out of their minds. They shot 60% from the field, 11 of 19 from 3. They had to withstand a late run from Arizona to get the win. Florida got the win last night as well in Texas Tech with the comeback victory over Arkansas. All right, let's get to the lines. We start with Grumpy. Grumpy, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. I guess you could say Alabama was searing hot last night.
They were searing hot last night. Yeah, absolutely.
I want to know how Dan could walk around in the yard and not get his heels stunk in the ground planting those flowers. Surely his heels are stinking.
Do you think he doesn't wear a shirt when he's doing? You think he's shirtless? Is he topless?
Oh, yeah, no.
He's
No, he's out. He's out there in a Speedo, brother.
got the Speedo going. He's got the hair on the back, the hair on the chest. He's just out there just showing off his showing off that body, that fit body.
Talking to anybody that walks by.
Anybody.
I don't know how he swims with that head. He's got a big old head. How's he swim with that? He must look like an icebreaker out there, man.
It's like a bobber, keep him from sinking,
Yeah. Hey, listen, I think the next time Bolton goes to the game, he's going to dodge him. We got to put him in a Dodgers jersey.
Oh, gosh. It would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That would
I
be
see
fantastic.
Alabama. I got Alabama yesterday after the game at 10-1. I just put a few bucks on there to kind of hedge a bet. At 10-1 at this stage, 10-1 to win it. I wonder what their odds are to go to the Final Four. I didn't see it on DraftKings.
I didn't see it from an odds standpoint. I did see that they were the 5th favorite to win the national championship at this point in time. The 4 ones are the top 4 favorites. I had it here somewhere, but I need. Here it is.
Yeah, and also,
the Alabama is 10. Alabama is 10-1. You're right. Alabama's 10-1. Auburn is 6-1. Houston 11-2. Duke is the favorite to win it all at 9-5. So it's not 10-1 is not bad at this point.
Yeah. One more stat. Did you see how many rebounds? I mean, you got to have the ball to shoot the ball and to score 113. How many rebounds did Alabama get last night? Because every bounce off the board it seems like it was going to Alabama.
Yeah, they had 37 total rebounds in the game. They had what's interesting is they only had 10 offensive rebounds, and it looked like they had 1 million. But every time they got an offensive rebound, they kicked it out to the perimeter and knocked down a 3. It seemed like, you know what I mean. So it feels like they had a ton. But here's the thing: when you're shooting 63%, you don't get a lot of offensive rebounds because you're making all your shots.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you heard the stat. I guess Sears took a mid-range jumper, and they said something like that was Alabama's only their second attempt at a mid-range jumper in the tournament.
That's true. Yeah, it's all threes and layups. That's it. It's threes in the rim. That's it for Alabama. They take no shots. I mean, literally, if you look at their shot chart, when you go to the stats afterwards, and you look at the actual shot chart, it's hilarious. There is nothing inside the arc. I mean, it's just all right under the basket or all 3-pointers.
Yeah, and I wanted to say thanks for doing the interview with Buckhorn, Coach, because I love the local stuff, man. I love the local stuff. Yeah. And when's the next remote? I'm by.
The next remote, our next remote will be, am I at Baumhauer's on Tuesday? No, I'm not at Baumhauer's on Tuesday. I am somewhere next week. I am at, I know I'll be at Hickory Store Barbecue next week on Thursday. Let's see. Do I have anything Wednesday? The next remote for me, the drive is at, let's see. The drive is at Baumhauer's next week on Wednesday. My next remote is at Hickory Store Barbecue on Thursday.
What day?
Thursday.
All right, man. Later. Thanks.
All right, appreciate you. Steve put it in the wrong place. I almost said a different place that's not booked yet. He's got it at a different place. So since we've been talking a little bit of basketball, the NBA, Adam Silver came out and he said that the NBA is exploring starting a league in Europe. Now, there's a lot of moving parts there, including playing the traditional 40-minute game that they play in Europe and that everyone but the NBA plays. The NBA plays a 48-minute game with the 4 12-minute quarters, whereas everybody else plays a 40-minute game. And I got to be honest with you, I think the NBA should go to a 40-minute game. I really do. You got all of this stuff with these players and load management and all that garbage. Take 8 minutes out of the game. I mean, when you take 8 minutes out of the game for 80 games, you still get your games, you still get your crowds, you still get all of that stuff. Who's not going to go to an NBA game? If you're going to an NBA game, who's not going to the NBA game because it's only going to be 40 minutes instead of 48 minutes? Nobody. They're still going to fill the arena. So the owners still get their dates. Nobody's going to say, oh, I want to pay less for the ticket. I need to pay 20% less for the ticket because it's a 40-minute game instead of a 48-minute game. No. It'll be better pace to the game. The window will tighten up a little bit. It'll be a 2-hour game. I'd love to see the NBA go to a 40. Everybody in the world plays 40 minutes. Everybody. College, chicks, international, FIBA, Olympics. It's a 40-minute game. It's a 40-minute. It would be like Major League Baseball playing a 12-inning game instead of a 9-inning game. When everybody else in the world plays a 9-inning game, and the majors said, well, we're going to play a 12-minute game. That doesn't make any sense. But if there's an NBA E, let's call it, if there's an NBA Europe, I mean, is it going to be a feeder league or is it going to be a premier league? Why would the NBA, they already got the G League. You don't need the E League. If the NBA is going to have a league in Europe and it is supposed to be expansion basically of the NBA into having a league in Europe, and they want to have 16 teams in this league over there, it's the same kind of money. They want to build new arenas and everything else. So the Euro player, does he stay in Europe? Does the Greek freak stay over there? Do all the best right now? I think the last 5 NBA MVPs are European players. Does SGA stay there? Does Jokic stay there? Where do these guys, would they stay over there? Not want to come over? Why come to the U.S.? If you have a league in Europe and it's the same kind of money and the same kind of, would you just stay there? Would it water down the NBA? Now the NBA wouldn't have all the best players in the world. Hell, I could stay home, speak my own language, and still make $20 million a year, $30 million a year. Will it be like that, or is it going to be like a feeder league? Because if it was like that, and it was just basically Americans, for the most part, playing in the NBA, one thing that would be kind of cool, then you'd have like a final series that would be the European champion against the American champion. That'd be kind of cool. If you think about the Euros that are playing right now, in the NBA, if you did an All-Star game, the NBA All-Star game is a joke. It's terrible. They can't figure out what to do. What if they did a U.S. versus the world in the All-Star game? It would feel like an international thing. It would feel like Olympics or something. I don't know that the best 10, 12 players in the U.S. could go up against the best 10, 12 players from Europe that are playing in the NBA, and they could win that thing. I don't know that they could. I'm not sure they could. I'd like to see them go to a 4-game deal. Yesterday, a 40-minute game. Yesterday, we didn't get to this. The other guys, the guys on the Blitz may have gotten to it. I didn't get to it. The nose wipe celebration has been eliminated. It's been added to like the throat slash or the gun shooting celebrations as being violent. And it's now a penalty. So how long have we they've been doing the nose wipe thing for a first down, They made it like they were just kind of pointing I'm doing it on WZZ on TV on the video feed. They've been doing this thing when they get a first down, CeeDee Lamb is the one that was, one did it, but they do it in college. A lot of players do it, where they do that thing where they look like they're just pointing for a first down, but they're first wiping their nose. It's kind of a nose wipe thing. Did they not know for the last 5 years that they've been doing this nose wipe thing, that it was a gang sign associated with the Bloods used to indicate that someone is untrustworthy? You think this is something like they just, hey, what happened? You think they just figured out, or for 5 years did they think, oh, that's cute. Look, he looks like he's wiping his nose.
I genuinely had no idea that was connected to anything gang related.
I didn't either.
But I honestly also believe that a lot of things can be connected to gangs that we don't really know about. That is just a random thing. Again, Think about random guy that's just wanting to wear just some color T-shirt in the wrong part of town in L.A. Oh, I'm sorry. You went to Old Navy today and got the wrong T-shirt. You're dead. Come on.
Don't wear that Raider gear. Well, remember they used to do the thing like with the horns, with their hands. They used to put their hands, and it was like some kind of a fraternity thing. They would do their hands, and they told them stop doing that. And then they told them to stop doing the throat slash, which I get. I mean, a throat slash is a throat slash. Stop doing violent things like you're shooting the people in the crowd. The one college kid, he would scored a touchdown, and then looks like he's got an Uzi, and he's shooting the crowd. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hand the ball to the official and go to the sideline. But then they started doing it. They got rid of the throat slash, and they started doing a nose wipe thing, and it must have been a laugh riot for the guys in the locker room, right? They're probably laughing the whole time. They don't even know. Them white dudes that own these teams and run this league, they don't even know that we're doing the Bloods thing. What's the Crips do? If the Bloods do if that's a gang size,
they literally have their own walk.
Oh, do they really? They got like a little hitch in their walk, like a little hip walk thing.
That's exactly what Serena Williams did on the Super Bowl.
Oh, really? That was Crips?
The name of the walk is the Crip Walk.
Oh, I didn't. But I thought that was a Crip walk having to do with something like the.
No,
it's an actual the Crips the gang.
She's from Compton.
Oh, I thought doesn't Compton have both, or is Compton Crip country?
I mean, I'm not up on my gang map like it's the Atlanta Braves fan map or anything. I don't know.
What's MS-13? Do we know what that gang is? I think that's a Hispanic gang.
I think it's worse than 1 through 12.
I'm
sure that they have like
13.
a handshake or something that will be outlawed in college football next year.
See, we might not know.
Is this what I'm saying? Can we not just use common sense with this? Like again, how many football players? Let's be honest. How many football players knew what the sign meant? And it wasn't just hey, everybody's kind of doing this. I'm going to do it. How many guys do we actually think understood it? The Uzi thing? Okay, that's common sense.
Yeah. But
let's use common sense with some of this.
No, the brothers knew. The brothers knew in the locker room. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing that nose wipe thing. They knew what they were doing. It's like the three, when a guy, they had to stop him in the basketball because they would do the three, like a guy would hit a three and then he would point to his head. You know what I mean? And do that thing where he's pointing to his head was like three to the head. Mara Salvatrucha, commonly known as MS-13, an international criminal gang and terrorist organization that originates in Los Angeles, California in the 80s. Originally set up to protect Salvadorian immigrants from other gangs in LA. Over time, the gang grew in more traditional criminal organization. MS-13 had longtime rivalry with the 18th Street gang. Oh, yeah. Who knows? What happened to good old days where you just had,
like Al Capone and crap.
Yeah,
come on.
La Cosa Nostra.
Where's John Dillinger when you need it?
Yeah. I mean, we these people, these gangs. Never happened to good old fashioned organized crime. La Cosa Nostra. That's all.
Paddy wagons and standing on the side with their guns and stuff and shooting them up. Yeah, no, it's much better back in the 20s.
These gangs. I jest. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, the great Bob Kessling. Could be his last game tonight. I hope it's not, but it could be. Bob Kessling, he's the voice of the Vols, and he is next right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
Auburn Tigers playing today in the Sweet 16 at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey against BYU. The Crimson Tide laying 5.5 points, a total 175.5. The winner will get either Duke or Arizona in the East Region Final. Duke, the 9.5-point favorite over the Wildcats. Auburn Tigers meet the Michigan Wolverines at State Farm Arena in Atlanta in the South Region semifinal tomorrow. The Tigers 9.5-point favorites, 153.5 to total. Michigan State a 3.5-point favorite over Ole Miss in the other regional semifinal. Braves a Chris Salem amount, $1.30 favorite today at San Diego. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Countdown to the 2025 Trash Panda season is on. Tickets are available for the full 2025 home schedule, including opening night on Friday, April 4th. But it doesn't end there. The Trash Panda season opens with 9 home games in 10 days, featuring theme nights, giveaways, fireworks, and more. This opening homestand has it all. For more information, check us out online at trashpandasbaseball.com.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
We aren't a winning school. We are a championship school, and we make legends. Join the Crimson Tide as they look to continue to rise to the top of the NCAA basketball mountain. Every game, all season, right here on your home for Alabama basketball, the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
The Bass Pro Shop's Red Crest Championship Outdoor Expo will be at the Pond Bronze Center April 4th, 5th, and 6th in conjunction with the MLF Red Crest Championship on Lake Gunnersville. The Outdoor Expo will be open from 11 to 6:30 daily, and the first 200 kids 14 and under on Saturday will receive a free Abu Garcia rod and reel, courtesy of WHNT News 19. There will be hourly giveaways, tackle and boat deals, seminars, and a chance to meet the pros. And it's free of charge. The Bass Pro Shop's Red Crest Championship Outdoor Expo, April 4th through 6th at the BBC.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy sky this afternoon, but we are going to be quite warm across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s, only dropping into the mid and upper 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning, maintaining that cloudy sky through Saturday afternoon. Temperatures are going to be a little bit lower across the area. High's going to climb into the low and mid 70s, which is still above where we should be this time of year. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible Saturday afternoon, but there are going to be significant periods of dry time, and not everybody's going to get wet. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Segment of Tom Abraham Show brought to you by the thousands of area residents that have received world-class care from the Valley's most trusted and experienced group of orthopedic surgeons and medical specialists. It's TOC. serving the Tennessee Valley with 13 regions, including Fayetteville, by the way, for those of you listening in southern Tennessee. If you have an orthopedic problem and are considering professional care, TOC is the only logical choice. Whether it's a work-related injury or you got sidelined playing the sport you love, you need the best care, the best physicians, the best facility to get you back in the game. And I think you'll agree that the Orthopedic Center is right for you. All right. Those of you that are listening in Tennessee on ESPN Winchester will get Bob Kessling tonight as the Tennessee Vols and the Kentucky Wildcats tangle for the third time this season, the first time in the history of the NCAA tournament that Kentucky and Tennessee get together. It is a juicy game for sure. And Bob Kessling will be on the call, and he joins us down at Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Kess, welcome back to the show, man. How are you?
I'm good, Tom. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. All right, let's deal with the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Right, this could be it, man. This could be the last game. You now are at that point where every game could be the last game. I mean, how do you focus on, okay, I got my game prep here, and not think about, what that last 30 seconds will be like if and whenever that last game is? Hopefully it's a week from Monday night. But, how do you prep for that? Do you have anything in your mind about it, or do you just black it out until it actually happens?
I think you just have to approach it that, it's just another game. I mean, it's an NCAA tournament game, but it's the next one on the schedule, and you just prepare for it like you always do, and you prepare as if this is going to go on for a while, so which you hope it does. So I haven't really thought about it. Tom, it's been amazing since I made the announcement way back when. Everybody keeps talking about, well, your retirement, this, and that. I'm going, listen, you're in a normal game prep. I mean, it's, you still got ball calls, you still got coaches shows, you still got your games. So nothing has really changed for me. Now, I know that door is going to slam in my face, one of these nights. It's going to happen. But, you hope it's not tonight. So I'm not sitting around, writing up something, because I hope they win tonight and keep going. So I haven't thought about it much.
We got word earlier in the week that Gary Danielson, this would be his last season coming up. So he's going to have a whole season of those, final memories as he goes through the Big Ten now, of course, not in the SEC anymore with CBS. Do you ever think about, I mean, was it the school's decision, your decision to make that announcement so that they can get ahead of it, as opposed to waiting until it ended and then just, I'm done, I'm not coming back?
I wanted just to drop the mic at the last game and just walk away. Tom, I think we all want to kind of do that when you figure out this is it. But the school insisted that they make the announcement because they said they thought that, I deserved to get some kind of recognition at a football game, and Bert and I get recognized at a basketball game. So that was kind of their decision. We actually kind of talked and reached the overall decision in the summer. So it's not like it's
okay.
Yeah, it's not like something that just suddenly popped up. So they tell you, well, you got the way you want to go. I said, okay, great. I'll just drop the mic at the end of the basketball season. And then they come up and tell me 2 weeks, I guess, before the Mississippi State game, we're going to honor you at halftime. So I was all right, well, whatever. So, but it turned out it was fine, and how they did it was nice, and so it was kind of interesting that the day we did that, we actually played basketball in Louisville at noon that day. So I did that game, and because we're supposed to be back in town by 4:00.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, we'll do the game when we get back, and that'll give me about 3 hours to get ready for the football game. So we get done with the basketball game, and I'm going out to the bus, and they said, oh, by the way, our plane is in Greensboro. I said, okay. I said, when's it supposed to be here? He said, well, it's supposed to be here a little bit after 4. And I said, well, okay, if we get on there, it's a 30-minute flight back to Knoxville. And, yeah, we still got plenty of time. Well, of course, we don't head out to the airport till 4:30. We get on the plane about 5:15. We land in Knoxville about 5:40. We landed in Knoxville at 5:15. Got to the stadium about 5:45 or whatever. And, I mean, it was hectic. basically I got there just in time to put my headset on and do the football game. But those are kind of the adventures, Tom, we kind of all live for in this business, and things you tell your grandkids about later, I guess.
See, I'm not as humble as you. I've already announced to my bosses and my audience that my last show is coming up February 15th, 2028. I give them a little 3-year notice. I got a plan. Now here's the thing. We add a Nashville affiliate Monday coming up. So now I may extend it a little bit longer because, it adds a little juice now that we're going to be back on in Nashville. So, that'd be a good thing as well. But
it's like you and Jim Nance. I mean, Jim Nance announced his retirement for
2036
or whatever.
2036.
What are you doing? I mean, that's no announcement. So anyway,
I just want to get to full retirement age to where I can make as much money as I want without having to, not take my retirement. So that's what I figured. I timed it out as to when I can get full retirement and make as much money as I want still. And so I determined that that's when I was going to retire. But we'll see if it happens.
But Tom, the posse's always out there.
Yeah.
The posse's always chasing.
That's true. They can get me before.
And I'm sure the posse's caught up to you a few times before. So you got to figure out where the posse is. Make sure the posse doesn't run you down.
That's a good point. My friend Bob Kessling with us here. All right. So let's hope it's not the last game tonight. And it's Kentucky. I mean, which is really, juicy because it's Kentucky. Now, Kentucky got the Vols twice this season. It's been a minute since they swept the Vols in a regular season, but they did it here. Rick Barnes, I think, has a pretty good record typically against Kentucky, but this is a great offense in Kentucky against an unbelievable defense in Tennessee. Tennessee is a 3 or 4 point favorite in this game tonight. What happened in the two games they played during the regular season that needs to not happen tonight for the Vols to get the Cats?
Well, I think in the first two games, Kentucky just shot unbelievably well from 3 point. I mean, I think they made 12 3-pointers in each game. So if you hit 12 3-pointers, you got a pretty good chance to win some games. The other thing they did, they basically took Chaz Lanier out of both of those games, and they did it by face guarding and having Owe or Almanar chase him all over the floor, and just made it really difficult for him to get shots off. If Tennessee's going to win, Chaz Lanier has to score 20 to 25 points. I mean, that's just been the formula all year long. Well, Kentucky understood that, and they took Chaz out of the game, and Tennessee didn't win. So somehow Tennessee's got to figure out how to get Chaz Lanier the ball and give him a chance to score. And you've got Tennessee's best team in the country guarding the 3-point line, but they didn't do it against Kentucky in those two previous games, and they're going to have to do that tonight to win.
Yeah, they will have to do that more defensively, maybe than offensively. Is there a number? I mean, do you think if you can keep Kentucky, in the 70s, that's where they have to be to win that game? Is it more than that? What's the thought process there? Is there a number that you got in mind?
Well, I think if you look at Tennessee, they usually keep teams in the 60s or the 70s. That's when they win well. But the two previous games are in that range as well. But Kentucky still won because Tennessee. Remember the first game, Tennessee shot 45 3-pointers. Well, that's not Tennessee, but they were trying to catch up and they were bombing away and not making them. It was just a really bad game. And you have those every once in a while in this part of the season. You got a clunker every once in a while. The game that really surprised me, though, was up at Rupp Arena. I thought Tennessee was going to win that game, and they were in pretty good position to win it until Kobe Brea just hit two unbelievable 3-point shots late in the game, almost from midcourt, it seemed like. And that kind of changed the game around in the momentum, and so it should be a really good game. Kentucky is much better than I think most people expected them to be. I mean, Mark Pope totally rebuilt this team. They got 11 newcomers on the team. It's amazing, and how well they're playing. But they've got a lot of things you like. They've got Amari Williams is a fascinating player to me. He's 7 foot. He can bring the ball up the floor because he had one of those growth spurts we used to play guard. Now he gets a growth spurt, and he still handled the ball. He's got 120 some assists. I mean, when's the last time you saw a 7-footer with 120 assists? It's been a while.
Yeah.
And so they kind of run things through him. They've got, and he also rebounds. He's one of their top rebounders. They have Kobe Brea, who was just an unbelievable three-point shooter. Their point guard has hurt him because he's been in and out. They lost Jackson Robinson, and that's been a key loss for them because he was averaging 14 points a game. But they've got a lot of other guys. They've got Garrison and Carr, and so they got big guys across the front. They rebound. But I think if Tennessee plays their normal game of playing defense, guarding the three-point line, and they don't get killed on the boards, I think they win. So because I think Tennessee basically is a better team, but they've got to play like it tonight.
Tennessee a 2 seed, of course, Kentucky a 3 seed. However, there's the big blue mist, and you're in Indiana there, Indianapolis, which is closer by a couple of hours for those folks that are coming out of Lexington. We also saw though how Tennessee traveled, to Ohio State for the football game in the playoffs. What's your sense and what the building is going to be like? Is this 70-30 Kentucky fans in there? Is this a road game for Tennessee, or do you think the Vol fan is showing up and it'll be a 50-50 split?
Well, I think the one thing you're not factoring into all of this, Purdue is also here. So
the Purdue fan, yeah. Who are they pulling for? Yeah, right.
Exactly. They got Houston. You wouldn't think there'd be many Houston fans here, but the Purdue fans have been gobbling up tickets too. So there'll be a lot of Tennessee fans here. There'll be more Kentucky fans. I mean, because there always are. I mean, they travel unbelievably well, but so does Purdue. And so that'll be one thing to watch tonight. How the crowd is divided, but there'll be plenty of Tennessee fans here to root them on. So let's just worry about the game and get it going.
Bob Kessling with us here. How cool would it be in your last go round, your last dance, for Tennessee to make their first Final Four? I mean, that would be just so cool.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be unbelievable? That's a dream scenario for you.
Yeah, it would be great. And the fact that Tennessee's never done it, I mean, it's kind of amazing when you look at it, all the great players that Tennessee's had and all the great teams. They've only been to 2 Elite Eights, and one of those was last year, and never to the Final Four. And it's really kind of hard to believe. So one of these teams, one of these years is going to break the fence down. We might as well do it tonight.
You talked about doing the prep and getting ready for the game. Like it's another game. Well, this is Kentucky, and you this is the third time you have this game. So it does invariably it cuts down on the prep. I mean, you got your notes and all your paperwork, and you saw 2 of these games, so it does help with the notes. How much time do you look at all other than watching the other game tonight, the later game, Houston and Purdue? Just kind of, it's a short turnaround. You only have one day to kind of get prepped for the next one, and it'll be a team that you're much less familiar with. How much time do you spend looking at Houston and Purdue right now, just to kind of be ready, in the event that Tennessee wins tonight?
Well, I put together my boards for both teams just in case something happens, and I'll be able to fill those in tomorrow and finish them up. But I've got all their stats down for both teams, and so I'll be ready tomorrow to polish that up. But the Kentucky prep was a little bit easier because I've seen them play so many times, and I've seen Purdue on TV a lot. Houston not so much, but it's when you get in the tournament, it's about managing your time and being able to spend enough time to get ready. But you have to do it. I had an extra day this week during the week to spend time on Purdue and to spend some time on Houston. So I'll be ready. I'll be ready tomorrow afternoon. I'll finish things up, and who's ever Tennessee's playing, we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, Bob Kessling with us here. All right, peel back the curtain. Last night, is Bob Kessling hanging out at his hotel room, watching the action, or are you out with the boys? Are you over with the coaches? How does Bob? Do you even watch any of the other games? Pulling for SEC teams last night at all? Give us what the night before looks like for Bob Kessling.
I'd say 20 years ago, I'd probably been out on the town, kind of going to a restaurant and kind of hanging out and going to a sports bar. But those days are long gone. So I really enjoy just staying in the hotel room and going over some of the Kentucky notes and watching games last night. So my days of carousing with the boys are long gone. So.
Carouse, you guys could hang out in the, you get to hang out with the coaches in the lounge down at the hotel there and watch the game there. But no, I totally, by the way, totally get. I'm exactly the same way. I'm like, don't bother me. I'm putting my feet up. I'm going to just sit here and hang out and watch games, in the hotel. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. I finally, is there? Are we going to hear? I mean, the pipe sounds great. I mean, you're in good shape. The voice sounds great. Are you going to spot duty, do anything, whether it's Vols or otherwise? I mean, do you have anything planned to do, any game of the week stuff, any of these networks that are doing college football, anything like that? Or are you going cold turkey? I'm done, going straight to the golf course or whatever it is that you do.
Tom, I haven't decided. I haven't even looked at that yet. And I've had some people contact me, and I mean, I'm sure if I want to do some stuff, I probably can. And but I haven't even thought about that yet. And now the only thing I've got for sure is my wife tells me that I can only watch 1 hour of Seinfeld a day. So I've got to build my schedule around that 1 hour a day, and she's going to hold me to that. So
it's 2 episodes.
Yeah, well, but then the problem you got, if after you've watched your 2, then the Bubble Boy or Kenny Rogers Roaster comes up, you almost have to watch those. So it's gonna be hard. I mean, it's really gonna be hard. I want to learn to play the piano. That's one thing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, my mom was a music teacher, and I grew up with her giving piano lessons almost every afternoon. And I'm back in the back trying to watch cartoons and the Three Stooges, and I'm just going, God, the piano. I mean, it was awful. And so it kind of turned me away from the piano. But now I've decided I want to take piano. My sister is a Metropolitan Opera singer.
Really?
Yeah.
Another great voice. It must have been the voice, but that must be the deal with you guys.
Well, her voice is much better than mine. There's no question. But anyway, so we've got my dad was a drum major at Ohio State. So we've got music in the family, but it kind of bypassed me a little bit. So I've decided I'm going to learn play the piano, and so got to work on that. And so that's the only thing I know for sure. But I'm sure I might get some opportunities. I just got to decide if I want to do them. One of the reasons I've decided to retire is because I got tired of the travel and being away from my family and all that stuff. And now if I turn around and tell my wife I'm going to start doing a game of the week for Westwood One or something like that, she'll probably kill me. So I can't do that. I'll pick and choose, but. Yeah, I still love the, Tom, you know how it is. You still
could be somebody there. Could be somebody, there's so many different networks now. All of a sudden you got, somebody's playing it at Tennessee and they say, hey, Bob, can you do the game for our network? You're right there in your home. Yeah. That might not be bad. But by the way, Seinfeld,
go ahead.
You mentioned the Seinfeld. That's the last sitcom I watched was Seinfeld. Although I did watch a little of Last Man Standing in reruns because I love Tim Allen. But that was the last sitcom that I watched on a regular basis was Seinfeld. And my kids ask me all the time, so you're not watching this one and that one and this show and that show. I said, no, you get to a certain age, you stop watching sitcoms and then you watch cop shows. I watch all the dramas and all the medical dramas and all that kind of stuff with my wife. Every night we watch some of that stuff till she falls asleep and then I watch the games. But Seinfeld was the last must-see TV sitcom that I watched, and it feels like it was 2 years ago, and it's been like, I don't know, 20 25 years since Seinfeld was on, something like that.
But every time I watch one, I pick out something new that I didn't see before, and I mean, I think I'm actually addicted to it. It's probably I might have to go to some intervention deal or something to get me from watching Seinfeld. But it's just what I have to do. So anyway, but I'll work on that.
That That's like my mom with MASH. She all of a sudden my mom's 85 years old, and all of a sudden she can't stop watching MASH. And I'm like, Ma, you watched it in the 70s, Oh yeah, but it's great, but it's the way it is. Bob Kessling has been our guest. Well, Bob, I hope it keeps going. Like I said, we go on in Nashville next week, so it'd be great to have you on before the Final Four and add the Nashville audience to the list. So let's see if we can't get that done. And I just. It's a weird feeling because a lot of times when something is going to end, but here you're in a scenario where you don't know. It could be 5 hours, 8 hours from now. It could be 8 days from now. That's the uniqueness of this deal.
Yeah, really is. So it is. I'm just looking forward to tonight.
Yeah.
This next game scenario.
I hear you, brother. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you so much. And if for some reason we don't talk, good luck with the whole retirement thing. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
I got you, Tom. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bob Kessling. I'm like a little bit sad over here, and I'm not a Tennessee fan at all. But Kess is a great, great guy, and he has a tremendous voice. And that's what we're losing in broadcasting is I'm trying to think, Joe, of how many guys out there that you will hear and immediately who they are. I never used to have to say that I'm talking to Eli Gold. I never have to say that I'm talking to Bob Kessling. There are certain guys that have a voice that immediately who it is that you're talking to. They're just different, Yeah. You never had to, Larry Munson, you never had to say that. I don't know how many guys like that there are now. And maybe it's just because I'm just an old sap and their voices become ingrained in you. And I think about Mike Keith and so on. And Mike's a great guy as well. And it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure he's going to do great, with the Vols. But that is an interesting thing. By the way, speaking of interesting things, Joe, I know that this is on your bingo card tonight. We got baseball, and the Braves are playing tonight out west against San Diego, game 2 of the 162-game season. And you've got you got Auburn and Michigan tonight, which is huge. You got a great doubleheader, the 2 games that you really want to watch, Kentucky and Tennessee, and then Auburn and Michigan. So that's a great night. But Joe, just in case, you're looking to put something else in there. I don't know if you knew this or not, but the St. Louis Battlehawks are playing at the Houston Roughnecks tonight as the USFL. Oh, wait a minute. What do they call it now? The UFL. The UFL season opens tonight on Fox with St. Louis and Houston. So
I'm going to allocate.
Do you have that circled?
I'm going to allocate all of the time that I was going to spend watching tennis now to that.
Yeah, put it in there. Yeah, put it ahead of tennis. I mean,
no. I'll just all the time that I had set around to watch tennis. I'm going to take tennis off totally, and I'm just going to write in that game so that I make sure that I watch it just as much as I was going to watch tennis.
Now, I actually, because I just love football, I actually do enjoy the UFL, but specifically with everything else that's going on this weekend, specifically, I will try to catch on Sunday afternoon, 2:00 Central Time, Sunday afternoon, Birmingham Stallions and the DC Defenders. And the Stallions are going for unprecedented 4-peat. I mean, they've won 3 straight championships in the UFL, USFL, XFL, whatever you want to call them. They've won all these championships, and they open up against DC on Sunday at 2:00. That game will be on ESPN. All right, we'll get a break. We will come back with a final segment next, right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm here with Vice President of Mortgage from Bank of Frank Ewing, John Kendall. And John, if you're hearing this commercial right now and you're thinking of getting a new house, boy, oh boy, do you guys have a deal.
We do. It's a grant. $25,000 if you're a veteran, $20,000 if you're not a veteran. This can be used for closing costs, down payments.
Very simple. All you have to do is give Bank of Frank Ewing a call at
256-507-9180.
And how long does this process take?
Oh, it'll take just a few minutes, maybe 15, 30 minutes on the phone. We'll send you a link and you fill that out in your own time. We'll approve you.
Who would not want $25,000 for a new house? John Kendall, give them the phone number and online address one more time.
256-507-9180 or at bankoffrankewing.com.
It's Bank of Frank Ewing giving you $25,000 for a new house. Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green is an FDIC insured bank as well as an equal housing lender.
NMLS number 446707.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
You've got to experience Toyota-thon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyota-thon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Tuscaloosa, we live by the blue-collar basketball motto.
Stepping back, deep three.
Hard work.
2-on-1, driving, stepping through, top shot, got it to go.
Teamwork.
Playing the song for the champions of the Southeastern Conference.
Join us for every game right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've got to experience Toyota-thon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyota-thon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Want to save some money?
I can take money and I can make it into more money.
Just check out our zone deals online at 977ESPN.com. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Laundry season! Laundry season! Home Appliance Center tells you it's laundry season. You're tired of that washer just walking out the door, or tired of having to dry that load 2 or 3 times. Now's the time to get that new washer and dryer. from Owen Home Appliance Center. You can pick from brands like Maytag and GE and Whirlpool, Electrolux, and, of course, Speed Queen. And try the new 2-in-1 GE Profile that washes and dries a load all in one machine. You can check out the interactive location in Lacey Springs, where you can try the washers and dryers before you buy them. Just bring a little load of clothes down there and go ahead and knock them out right there at Owen Home Appliance Center. It's Owen Home Appliance Center. Quality products, quality prices, quality service. It's in the name at Owen Home Appliance Center. All right, reminder that next week on Monday, we will be adding a new audience to the show in the second hour of the show, as we'll be going back on in Nashville. So we're excited about that at WNSR. And it's the same content. I mean, that doesn't change. You know, we talk about everything we've talked about for the last, I don't know, for the last 15 years of this show has really been all the 60, I call it the 65 quarter. It's really, from the Ville to the Ville, from Nashville to Huntsville. I mean, it's all the same. You know, we're talking SEC. We're talking Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, Kentucky. We're talking SEC. And, we talk about the Falcons and we talk about the Titans and we talk about the Preds when we do talk hockey, especially if they're any good, and so on. And we'll still have the first hour of the show where we'll do, even though we're on WCDT as well, on ESPN Winchester, we'll have a little bit of room in that first hour of the show where we do some of the maybe a little bit more of the Tennessee Valley stuff. If we're talking Trash Pandas, or if we're talking Havoc, or if we're talking high school or whatever, that'll be more in the first hour. And then in the second hour, we'll be confined more to our regional stuff. But the show has always been regional. What was always great back in the day, because the show was always on in both markets anyway, most of the time. And there was a very short period of time where we were on just in Nashville and not in Huntsville, but most of the time it was always on in both Nashville and Huntsville anyway. And it was always great, the interaction between the listeners there and the callers from there and the callers from down here. And it's like a battle, it's like a border battle. That's what I always called it. It's a border battle. And the fact that Joe was on up there not too recently, also helps as well, because, you were there, 3 years, Joe? 4 years, something like that?
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. So when people hear his voice and so on, that'll add to the juice as well. So we're kind of looking forward to that. We'll have a Final Four that we can set up on Monday as well, which is really cool. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff coming up. All right, that's going to do it for the show today. We want to thank David Green and Bob Kessling, who are on. Joe mixed the show. You, the listener. Remember, you can get into the Friday Trifecta right up until game time tonight. I'm not taking any more after 6:30 tonight. So just send me your Final Four. Use the text window for that, and you can get in to this Trifecta. I'm Tom Abraham for Joe. Have a great weekend, everybody.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. As the Lakers head to Memphis for tomorrow night's matchup with the Grizzlies, the team that's on their heels for fourth in the West, they're eager to quickly put what happened in Chicago last night in their rearview mirror. Couldn't hang on to an 18-point fourth quarter lead or a 5-point lead with a little over 12 seconds left. Game ended with Chicago's Josh Giddey hitting the game-winning shot from half court as the Lakers lost for the 8th time in 12 games. Former Tennessee football coach Jeremy Pruitt's filed a lawsuit against the NCAA seeking $100 million. He claims it conspired with the university to make him a sacrificial lamb. He was fired for cause, didn't receive any of his $12.6 million buyout after an internal investigation revealed what Tennessee's chancellor said were serious NCAA rules violations. Pruitt has not coached in college football since.
Come home.
He hits the game winner.